Tonight, a closer look at President-elect Donald Trump's first rally-like speech since winning the election. Trump made a wide range of remarks on immigration, the Panama Canal, and even Elon Musk. Here's some of what the former president and now the president-elect said at a conservative conference in Arizona on Sunday.
The victory was such an outstanding one, such a big one, and the other side now, they lost their confidence. If you watch television now, they're all befuddled. They don't know what the hell happened. We will demand that the Panama Canal be returned to the United States of America in full, quickly, and without question. When you look at, like, autism from 25 years ago, and you look at it now, something's going on, and I nominated Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Is something wrong? I think so. And Robert and I and all, we're going to figure it out. President Trump has ceded the presidency to Elon Musk. No, that's not happening. But no, he's not going to be president, that I can tell you. And I'm safe, you know why? He can't be. He wasn't born in this country.
I want to bring in the former Trump senior advisor, Anthony Scaramucci. Anthony, thanks very much for joining us. You got a smile on your face right now. It looks like the President Musk jokes are getting a bit under Trump's skin. Anthony, you were once a key part of Trump's inner circle in the White House. Do you see their relationship turning sour anytime soon?
He doesn't like it, but I think what's happening is he's also knows that a lot of the stuff coming from the left is premeditated. And so that's what's shielding him for right now. But he won't like it. The more attention Elon gets, if there's a problem, he'll look to blame Elon or somebody else on his team. You know, if you just look at what's going on with Speaker Johnson right now, prior to getting that spending bill passed, they were calling him a Democrat. So, you know, it's a perilous situation. There's a honeymoon period going on right now. But trust me, he doesn't like it. He wouldn't be bringing it up. If it didn't bother him, Wolf, he wouldn't be bringing it up. And so, you know, it's like Shakespeare, doubt does protest too much.
Yeah, good point. We saw how much influence Elon Musk had in last week's debate here in Washington over government spending. What do you make of Musk's role in Trump's party?
Well, listen, he's got a very powerful role. He's got a $44 billion megaphone. He's got over 200+ million followers. And Wolf, he was instrumental in that election. The stuff that Elon Musk did in Pennsylvania alone, I think, helped the president win that election. So he has a very big voice. I think the problem for Elon Musk, though, he's got a little bit of Potomac fever. And so you think you're going to go to Washington and change Washington. That's Potomac fever. And the weird thing about Potomac fever is one of the symptoms is you don't know you have Potomac fever. And of course, I have had Potomac fever, Wolf. So I'm speaking as a former patient that's been afflicted with the disease. So he's just got to be very, very careful because he's making enemies that he doesn't realize. And the incentives in Washington are totally different than those in business. And so everybody's incentivized in a different and sometimes irrational way. And I think the power that he's wielding right now, Washington has a great immunological system, and I think they'll find a way to rebut him. So I would say to Elon Musk, not he would listen to me, but stick to business. You've done great. You've made a couple $100 billion since the election. Lay off the gas on politics a little bit because these people could hurt you, and it's no need for you to get hurt. You're doing so well in your life.
Yeah, he certainly is. Anthony, President-elect Trump is talking about buying Greenland once again, like he did in his first term, writing on Truth Social, and I'm quoting him now, "The United States of America feels that the ownership and control of Greenland is an absolute necessity." Now he's also talking about taking control of the Panama Canal. Is this a realistic policy he's advocating? What do you think?
Well, I mean, you left out Canada. I mean, obviously, we've got Governor Trudeau in Canada, and he's talking about a mini invasion of Mexico, I guess. I don't know. I mean, this is the stuff that he says, and then, you know, his cultists get out there and say, he's either serious or not serious, depending on what he's saying. And so I don't like it because it just makes us look bad. And what ends up happening is you force allies to form unnatural alliances against the United States. And so if you want to put a military base in Greenland, I'm sure there could be a negotiation related to that, just like we have military bases all over the world in other sovereign countries. But to put that out on Truth Social, I don't understand what his advisors are even saying to him about the common sense related to that, because it's just really lacking. So you tell me, Wolf, are we going to invade Canada, Mexico? Are we going to take Greenland and the Panama Canal? I don't know. I mean, if we're doing that, it's going to be a rough 4 years.
Over the weekend, what do you make of how Elon Musk might be butting in, if you will, or leaning in on the processes that are in a different branch altogether?
Yeah, Richard. Well, I think in this current moment, Trump does view Musk as a very helpful and useful extension of his political power and as an enforcer of some of his priorities. And he's been extremely encouraging of the Department of Government Efficiencies. This is Musk's outside the government agency that's going to find ways to make efficiencies and to cut the federal government spending by a very, very potentially unrealistically large amount. I think, though, where Musk could encounter some problems and maybe create some problems for the president-elect is that pushing some of these policies that are in contradiction to what Trump has promised on the campaign trail. Something like cutting entitlements, for example. Trump has promised repeatedly that he's not going to touch things like Social Security disability insurance. And that is one of the priorities that Musk has zoned in on in these conversations he's been having separate of Donald Trump on Capitol Hill with his sidekick and partner in Doge, Vivek Ramaswamy, that has excited a lot of these Republican lawmakers who are big Trump supporters, some of the biggest MAGA adherents in the Republican Party, but who also vary from Trump in terms of their fiscal ideology and ways that they would like to see the government's influence, who have been wanting to cut entitlements for years now, but have not had the political capital to do so, and see Musk as a proponent of that. But where it could come to a head is, again, undermining some of the campaign promises that Donald Trump has made.
Alexei, what do we know about this? It's called Department of Government Efficiencies. It's not going to be a federal department, but it's going to be advisory from what we know, right, Alexei? What do we know about what Doge might be, or what the idea of what it might be is? And secondarily, it seems to have got a little bit of energy coming from the Hill itself, with a bipartisan, at least it seems right now, interest in this very same idea.
Yeah, I mean, I think Vivek and Elon know how to be slick and sell this idea that they are focusing on efficiencies. And it was at the Aspen Institute, I believe, where Vivek was doing an interview with Axios's Mike Allen, and he talked about the issue of cutting entitlements and the way that they're already sort of pushing for it at once, but also not taking accountability for it is really interesting. He said to Mike Allen something to the extent of, well, Republicans in Congress would be the ones to ultimately vote to cut entitlements, not us. And those people were voted into office by the American people. So if you look at it that way, the American people are saying they want that. And that's obviously not true. Polls show something like 80% of Americans don't want to see anything touched when it comes to Social Security benefits, for example. But they are talking about going after people who they say shouldn't even be receiving these entitlements. And so they're also saying that's the first part before they get to any sort of wholesale cuts of packages or programs. But I think we've seen with the government shutdown bill how obsessed they are with numbers and the weight of this package. And so when they talk about efficiency, you have to ask, are they thinking about just numbers and the bottom line, or are they thinking about the people?
Guys, it's just, what's really interesting around Trump, and this is why the people are, surrounding him are often just so screwed, is the collective amnesia. They all have amnesia. And I've said this before, it's like each new person that comes into proximity with Trump, whether it's some random staffer or whether it's the man that's puppeteering him right now, Elon Musk, every one of them says it's going to be different for me. Like, we literally keep trotting out the mooch, Scaramucci, right? Like, I have a clip of him here. And we literally bring these people out and say, remember this guy? He got fired in a matter of what felt like hours. I know it was a few days, I know, but look, was he great at his job? Like, probably not, but like, would Trump have probably fired him eventually for something, even if he didn't do anything wrong? That tends to be what happens. Donald fires people who are often doing a decent job if they, for example, stand up to him or refuse to break the law or something of that sort, right? And so, it's just so bizarre to me, guys. There's going to be all these people that saw what Trump did before he was president, when he was president, and even after he was president, to the staff that were extremely loyal to him. So many of those people had their lives ruined, ended up in jail, what have you. And they're like, for me, it's going to be different. Only it won't be.